Blog Talk Radio.
Hey. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element. One with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element.
I was sent to assist you. There ain't nothing we can't get through. All the elements are inside you. All of it's here to guide you. I've been trying to keep it solid, grounded to the core. Tell me that I got it, I'm just being honest. That is all I want. Honesty and understanding is a no to take. If we build on this, how could we break? Jump into the leg, purify your body. I just wanna help, don't wanna hurt nobody. This is for your benefit. I dare you try me. I've been talking, but are you awake? If you can't hear me, then you stupid fake. We all got demons that we got to shake. We all got the power to clean our slate.
I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element.
I swear this heaven on earth. Your bad energy is a curse. Living life without knowing our worth. Finding myself daily always on search. Cleansing out all my chakras. The true power lives inside of us. On a mission, got no time to fuss. Law of attraction don't deal with luck. Pure vibrations combine with us. You want the drama, but we want the love. That can't keep us down cause we so far above. The cosmos, my makeup, we are the creators. We've been here for ages, just reincarnated. Adjusting my thoughts, now I'm feeling connected. You do for yourself, then they calling you selfish. I am that I am, become one with these elements.
I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element.
Look, I'm just trying to spread the light, dropping knowledge on sight, can't stop the truth. Earth, wind, fire, water, yeah, you feel the elements, time to get in zone. I'm one with the sun all day, at nighttime I'm one with the moon. Tapping in with all these frequencies, mind going up like a high balloon. I think it's time to go within now, cause this ain't the first time we've been around. Can you hear the sound? Please no interference. Dropping knowledge nowhere near finished. Feet grounded while I'm levitating. This is healing music, yeah, we medicating, meditating, elevating, never waiting. Mother Nature got me out here celebrating, cause
I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element. I am the element, one with the element. I am the element, becoming one with the element.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tribe Radio. This is your co-host, Heather, aka Halo. Tonight we are doing Empowering Men Monday, and we have kings for you that are individuals together, a trio, right? So I'm not going to give a big introduction to them because I want them to explain all the good stuff that they got going on and everything themselves. I bring you individuals. We have Joshua Hill, aka Selfmade. We have Brandon. We have Brandon Hiller, aka Hillz.
How's it going?
And we have M'ster Lewis. That's the only name I know you love. And together, this whole trio forms Conscious Mindz. I brought them on the show tonight because they all three are doing amazing things. Not only do they put knowledge and truth and all that out through their music, they all also teach and all about growing your own food and health. So, without further ado, I get Conscious Mindz. How are y'all guys doing tonight?
Good. We doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good too.
All right, so we're just gonna jump right on into this thing. I'm gonna start off individually, doing each of y'all one by one, and I want y'all to talk about what you personally do individually, and then I want y'all to kind of come together and tell us how Conscious Mindz was created and what they're about. So I'm gonna start with Josh, Selfmade. Tell me a little bit about you personally, and how your journey started, and how you got to where you are today, and what it is that you seek to bring forth with all that you're doing right now.
All right, peace. I'm Selfmade. Man, the journey has been exactly that, a journey. About 2 years ago, I've been doing music for about 5 years, and about 3 of those years I was, on the other side of music. I'd say like mainstream side of music, talking about reckless stuff, and I kind of came into enlightening. M'ster Lewis was kind of doing the thing. Me and him linked up. He was linked up with Hillz, and so we kind of formed our little Conscious Mindz group. We was all, like-minded, thinking alike, trying to, better ourselves, better our family, and we started seeking. I started seeking personally, and once I started, chiming in with Dr. Sebi and learning about the foods, and it just kind of rolled after that, chemtrails and just learning about the water and all that stuff kind of brought into awareness, and it made me want to share my experiences to the people and try to open their eyes to what's going on. So I do that now within the music, mix and master, produce all our own music, record all our own music. We shoot all our own music videos. We garden. I actually have a garden at my mom's house. We all damn near have gardens at our house, trying to grow food, be self-sustainable. And yeah, we just trying to learn and keep on expanding on what we're doing.
Cool. So, next, Brandon, Mr. Hillz, tell me a little bit about you and how you got started.
Hey, how's it going? So, Brandon Hiller, Hillz, 27 years old, and I started doing this about 5 years ago. At first, I was playing around with it, but like I'll say 2012, I got serious and started speaking how I felt, what was going on with the world and what was going on around me. So I felt like there needed to be a change in music. So that's what me and my brother Cam was doing. So me and him was a group called Creative Music. That's how we started that, and then we linked into with Selfmade. That's what started Conscious Mindz. So yeah, that's my journey with music.
Okay. What about your journey with the health conscious stuff? And it's not the health conscious that y'all are on. Y'all are actually on the conscious awakened state altogether.
Right.
What else?
I feel like my awakening started like I got introduced to this show called what was it called? The Hidden Colors. I'm not sure if you guys informed with that. I first looked at that, and that just changed my whole perspective on how we are living and how we are worshiping something we don't even know about. So that changed my perspective on that. That had me asking a lot of questions about what do they have us, worshiping and watching on TVs and spending our time doing what we don't love, what we don't like. So started researching on that, and that's within my music and our music that we push.
Right. M'ster?
Yes.
Yep.
What about you?
Yes, my journey is also it started about the same time, 5 years ago. I was also, doing music, and I felt like I was always a spiritual person. So like I've always been like in tune with God a lot, and I used to go to church, and like I was just trying to really live a good life. Like I was really trying to, be something, something for my parents to be like, okay, that's my son. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing well. Even though I came out of that though. Like it was like I was really just running the streets for a while, just doing regular stuff. You know what I mean? Just playing basketball. Also just hanging out with people in the streets, just running around, just being a kid. Doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And I got caught up a couple of times with some things, and it really changed my perspective on like where I could be headed. And, so I just started, trying to get back into God. I'm like, I'm thinking, Jesus at the time. I'm like, okay, Jesus saved me from these times. You know what I mean? Like, so just as time went on, I also seen Hidden Colors. And it changed my perspective as well, as far as just like, what we're learning, how we were taught this information and who taught us this information. And, I started diving in onto like, who's teaching this information, and, why are they teaching it the way they're teaching us in school, and really, it really started like a cultural thing for me, because it's like, I always wanted to know, like, who I am, like, just they was always talking about our history has been stolen from us, and we don't know, black people don't know who they are, who they truly are, you know what I mean? So like that really started like opening up doors for me, and I felt like, man, who am I? You know what I mean? I started really wanting to figure that out, and I ran into Dr. Sabi as well, because like my mind was just going. So I ran into Dr. Sabi as well, and then he really put that light in me that felt like, I had something cultural that was mine, that made me feel empowered. Like I'm like, oh shoot, we got our own food. Like, you know what I mean? Like Africans have their own food. Like, everybody has a food that's, for them specifically based upon like, where they were born at in the world. Like, you know what I mean? Just like animals, like different animals have certain foods based upon like where they are, because even the seasons, grow different foods and all that. But, once I started feeling like, man, we got our own food that we can eat, I started feeling empowered, I feeling like, man, I could really do something. I can really be something like, as far as just like helping people heal and just get out of this mindset. I started learning about how food affects your mind and all that. So, it's just been a long learning process, and just doing shows and music with my bros and taking care of my little ones, because I have 3 little ones right now, and then I have one on the way as well. So, I'm just really trying to build something new for my family, because it's like, we didn't grow up like this. I didn't grow up vegan, eating eating the way I'm eating and thinking like this. You know, my mom put me through school and we was eating different. Like I homeschool my kids, and it's just like it's totally different. You know, we growing food. We really trying to really be independent and be owners of just our lives. You know what I mean? Just every little aspect of it. So I'm just trying to teach my little ones that as well.
Right. And with you saying that you're trying to be, like, you know, completely self-sufficient, not just, well, I want you to speak on it in your community. I have biracial children, so I had to learn to go deeper into that culture and all that too, because of my children. Y'all's journey kind of sounds a little bit like mine. You know, I started a few years ago and got out of the lies that were being told when it comes to the religion. And, you know, my aha moment was, really, I've been lied to all these years. Like, are you serious? So that's what kind of started mine when it comes to the spiritual thing. And when it comes to the health thing, I've only, you know, kind of been doing that for about the last 2 years. And so far, I've knocked out all the meats and all the dairy products, you know, on my end, and I'm working on everything else. But it doesn't matter which one of you all want to answer it, but how important for you all's community, especially today, with the way the world is today, how important is it for people to learn how to be self-sustaining and the importance of not just growing your own foods, but like Mr. said, teaching your own children, pulling them out of the systems of the world? Can you tell them how, like, really how important that actually is and why everybody should really be seeking to do that?
I would say I think that it's really important to do that so that we can, you know, empower ourselves, and so people can feel like, you know, they're not being forced to do something, and so they can have more control over this life. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it'll really expand our happiness, like our health, and just I feel like it'll really change the world, like seriously.
Right.
I feel like, you know, on top of, we have to think, you know, nothing physical lasts forever. It's like all these stores and the whole government system could crash tomorrow, and you know, nobody really knows how to grow food and cure water and, you know, what plants actually look like in the wild if they had to actually just forage for some plants. You know what I mean? Like, we're so focused on the logos of Jordan and Gucci and Louis and stuff, and we couldn't even recognize a squash plant or, you know, some plants that we actually grow that actually come from nature. So it's like we got out of tune from the real system of nature and understanding all the elements and aspects of nature to be able to live freely, because, you know, everything that comes from nature is free. We don't have to pay, you know, it comes off the fruit. They put that money in between us and nature and capitalize off us and, you know, control us and stuff. So it's like, if we could start growing our own food, we'll take back our own power and stop, you know, giving them the power, you know, to hold that value of money in between us.
Right. I so totally agree with that. So go ahead.
Also, we would have, like, more control of our health, because you don't know what they're putting in these foods, you know what I'm saying, to get us sick. And then we have to go back to the doctors every month to get a checkup because we got this certain disease that they put in the food. So, just like you say, it gives you more control of your destiny.
Right, and that's one of the big things that started me, too, with all the health stuff, because my oldest son, he's now 17, but he's been type 1 diabetic since he was 9 years old. And, you know, then that was, 8 years ago. I hadn't kind of fully got into that, all that kind of stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, well, it's genetic, it's hereditary, it's this, it's that. A couple of years went by, and I'm like, no. Once I started figuring out on my own that it was not hereditary, to me, this is how I explain it to people when I talk to them, because I cook for a living and do all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people that are around me, they know the journey that I'm on because I'm very transparent and open with it. So, I get asked questions and all, and they're like, well, what made you start doing this, or what makes you feel this way? And I'm like, look, the only reason that the diseases and the sicknesses and all that are hereditary or quote-unquote genetic is strictly because of the food habits and the way of eating that's been passed down from one to the next. So if we realize that, then we can break that cycle. That's one of those generational curses or generational narratives is like literally got to be broken. It's not anything genetic in that. All of that is introduced to you through your food. And I got slapped in the face with that when I had to realize and suck up the fact that I gave my son type 1 diabetes. And the only way that I was going to get him out of that type 1 diabetes was to do it myself, because the doctors are going to tell you that it can't be done, that it can't be cured from it. And I'm yeah, yes it can, because I gave it to him. I can cure him from it. So that's what I'm in the process of actually working on and doing with him now when it comes to, herbs and just the different foods and stuff that he eats and everything like that. And so I agree with y'all on that. It's highly important to realize that through the medicines and all the foods that you're buying, and that's how you're getting sick. That's why America is one of the sickest countries in the world.
Yep. Every corner is a fast food restaurant.
And that's why, heart disease is the number 1 killer in this country too.
Yeah. That's bad, real.
It really, really is. Okay, so when it comes to y'all's music, to me, I look at y'all's music as just being a bonus. I love y'all's music and the way y'all put y'all's music out.
Thank you.
I just look at that as being a bonus, because that is that's more one of the most effective ways to get, truth and knowledge out, especially to the younger generation, because if you can get them to vibe with the music, if you can get them to vibe with that beat and all that, you can catch them with the lyrics on that. So I look at that as a bonus. But to me, the amazing thing is, for one, y'all are 3 young black men, and y'all are 3 young black men that are putting out to not only the people of y'all's age, but older, and especially the younger generation, what really needs to come into play for you all's community. Building generational wealth and, like you said, taking that control back from the systems that, yes, and I can say it, and I will say it, as I said all the time, that the white man put before you out of control, right?
Right.
I preach that to my kids all the time. Like, my 2 kids are those 2 kids that they actually still go to public school. Well, I got one that just graduated, but they get in trouble with the teachers and the administrators because they question them and they debate them. Like, no, this is false knowledge that you're giving me. Like, I know better than that. So those are my kids. They get in trouble for debating the teacher and the facts and stuff that the teacher is giving them, because I believe that, everything starts at home. We got too much into just maintaining our children and maintaining ourselves to society standards and the programming that they put before us. That's what's wrong with our world. Everybody asks what's wrong with the younger generation. It's not the younger generation that's the problem. It's us.
Right. It's the program.
It's the cycle. That we keep putting each other through. So
how do you all individually think that cycle can be broken? Because there's a lot of people that, and I've seen it just in what, I've been doing in the last couple of years, and what me and Lisa, GE of Lisa's Fragrance and such, what she's brought to me and what I've learned from her, being on the last 2 years with her and doing these different things that we do, a lot of people just don't know where to start. They don't know where to start to get out of that programming because, you know, they've been lied to for so long. So how do you start?
I'll say start within first, you know. Ask questions about yourself, ask questions about your surroundings, because they told us not to question that first. You know what I'm saying? Just because if we question, you're gonna figure something out. So they have to eliminate the questions for us to stay trapped in this programming, you know, the system way of thinking and living. And I feel like it starts within first. You have to realize that there is a problem and to find a way to fix it, and then gather up with the people that's on the same frequency, the same light as you know, and build from that. That's how we can change. I feel like.
Anybody else want to chime in on that? Because I think that's important. We have a lot of people that we come across and that come on the shows and that chime in on the shows and all that we do and that we've been doing for the last couple of months and all that are like I said, just how do I start? Where do I go? And me personally, that's I think that was Hillz that just answered that. That's exactly where I tell them to start. Within. You have to go within first. Stop. If you have spent all this time giving your focus and your energy and all to outside sources or outside beings or whatever, why can't you turn that energy within and figure out on your own what, you know, resonates with you? So I agree with him, but does anybody else want to come in? Like, how can they start finding out what... Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit more specific because I think all of you all have done this, and I know I have too. A lot of the problem in the Black community is religion, and it's Jesus, and it's the Bible. How do they get out of that programming? Because I think that right there is one of the biggest ones that there is.
Right. And I think it's like the same as the first one, like, you know, just understanding that you've been lied to, just understanding that all the information that we're receiving here in this country is coming from, you know, the government, like, or whoever, you know, the elites, you know what I mean? The people who are controlling the school system, the people who are controlling the official, like, you know what I mean, just the officers and just everything. Like, we got to understand that they're all connected, like the hospitals, the schools, the police, you know what I mean, the churches. Like, once people just start really understanding that, you know, all of that is connected and all of this stuff is not working for us, then, you know, it'll make it easier for people to start, you know, building their own traditions and own, you know, new customs to get out of this way of living that we've been in. And, like, one thing that really helped me with just knowing that, okay, this Bible stuff just can't be all the way real. It's just like, it was really the food, because I was like, okay, we've been praying over our food this whole time. And, like, you know, you can actually pray over your food. Exactly. You can just pray. You praying over your food all this time, all these years, and you still getting sick. But you don't even have to. You don't even have to pray over, you know, the plants and the herbs. You can just eat them, and you'll be healed. Like, you know what I mean? That's like a fact. That's like in your face fact right there. Like, why you don't need to be praying. Like, why you don't need Jesus in order to be healthy or, you know, or just like good. You know what I mean? People try to be, oh yeah, if I got Jesus in my life, then I'm not a sinner. You know what I mean? So they just try to condemn people straight off the bat with, oh, you're a sinner, you're bad. And then, you know, it's just putting these conditions, these certain ways of thinking in our mind, and we just like always beating ourselves up like, damn, I'm a sinner. I need Jesus. I need this. And, you know, I'm just not good enough. Like, you know what I mean? I need the system to work, and it's just like, man, they just got us in a big old loop of just control and dependency of them. You know,
it's still
right.
a big.
And I want Selfmade to kind of chime in on that too, but I want to chime in real quick when you said about praying over the food and stuff, because I use that a lot in the sense of manifesting what it is that you want. Like, why is it that you're going to continue to get on your knees and pray for something that you could be standing on your feet and manifesting and getting with your hands? So that was, I like that you use that comparison or whatever, and I'm big on that, and that's exactly what I tell my kids, and when I talk to anybody else about it, that's what I use. Like, to me, when it comes to, like, the praying and the religious part of it and all that, they gave you a false being to look to, that supposedly holds all this power and blah, 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 whoopty whoop, because they had to give you something to take your focus off of you. That's why I think the most important thing is to go back within, because that's the only way you're going to find out who you truly are and what you truly are. I tell my kids all the time, you can use, like, different things in the Bible or these different books, the Quran and all that kind of stuff as guides or, metaphorically speaking, but, like, my depiction of heaven and hell. The Bible tells you that these are eternal places you go, but these, to me, they're eternal places that you carry within yourself every day, So, it's go within, and if you can have that much faith or quote-unquote belief in something else, have it in yourself.
Right. It's like falling. When you fall and you get a scrape on your knee, and you see that you hurt, and like you don't need to go get no Neosporin and put on your knee in order for it to start healing yourself. You don't need to start praying in order for your knee to start healing itself. It's like all the powers that you have, the healing mechanisms for everything is already inside of you.
I feel like just to chime in with the question as far as what's a way to pull them out of that, I feel like living by example, showing them, living naturally off the land, show them the benefits of living naturally off the land versus through that Bible. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the way your mind is actually working with nature and how you connecting a lot of the dots with nature. Just living by example, how I look at it. Because, you could talk to them and it's like, to a lot of them, their glass is full. It's like they're closed-minded. They're not jumping out of that thing at all. And it's like, I know some people that can connect the Bible to nature. You know what I mean? I feel like that could be another way. If somebody really understands the Bible well enough, like Canop, shout out to Israel Farm, like Canop, you know what I'm saying? He can connect the Bible, certain verses and certain parts of the Bible to nature to probably get them more, understanding about nature.
Right.
So, I guess there's a couple of different ways, we could go about trying to change it, but it's going to take some work for sure.
Right.
For real.
Okay.
For real.
So, what, with what you all are doing, I know what the ending result it is you want for your personal families and all that kind of stuff like that, but I think that y'all show, y'all don't just sit here and talk about it. Y'all actually do it, and you show people how to do it, and I think that's a big thing. There's a lot of people that get on social media or, whatever the case may be and talk about, oh, well, this is what we need to do, this is what we don't need to do, but you never see them actually doing it. So big ups to y'all for actually showing people instead of just telling people what it is. What do you see as what you all want for the bigger picture for your communities? What do you want for the world? What do you think? Where do you think you are actually going to reach, or where are you trying to reach with what all y'all got going on?
Whoa, God is limitless, so I'm trying to reach the limitless point. It's like I'm trying to get to infinity. I want to see as far as I could possibly go, and I want to see everybody do the exact same. Like, I want to see the best for my people, If I could think about myself flying or, moving stuff with my mind, then that's where I'm trying to head to, So I see it. Yeah, exactly. I see us back, doing extraordinary things. All the stuff that we hear our ancient ancestors doing, building pyramids that we can't build today. Hearing people talk about levitation and UFOs or stuff that's, all this stuff that they show us in the movies, Wakanda and all this, all these high vibrational, high frequency things, people living to 500, people living to 700 years old. Like, that's where I want to see my people at, always thriving to be the better them, always trying to get back to their original self, which is their God self, so that's where my mind's at.
Wow. Yeah. Man, just like Selfmade said, I just want people to be in harmony, with the land, I feel like once we be with harmony with the land and really know what it is and what's it here for, that's when things will change for the better. And I feel like we can heal the world like that by changing our frequencies and our thoughts of nature, I feel like that can change the frequencies of people and heal the world, heal all of it. We are the Messiah they talking about in that Bible.
Yes.
Start a man.
I can't disagree with that at all. I agree with that 100%. Like, for real.
Like, yeah, and I feel the same way. I really just want, people to be happy. Like, you know what I mean? Just people just being just happy and helpful and just, not worrying. Like, there's all these, I feel like all these, these things that they have put on our lives to make us feel like they're important and we have to do it. Like, all these worries, like, all the things that we're worrying about. I feel like once we get to a point where we all like, we don't need none of this, we start cutting off extra baggage and we just feel like, weight has been lifted off of our shoulders and we can just live. Like, what you tripping off of, bro? Like, you alive, bro. Like, like you got a nice family. You're healthy. You know what I mean? It's just like, once we can start appreciating and just like forgetting, letting stuff go, and just being grateful to be alive and being happy. I feel like, that's just what I want to reach within my community. Like, building a community of people who just like not really tripping because they know the people around them, got them, or they not looking to steal, they not looking to just, nobody needs to do none of that. Like, and just reaching that understanding.
That right there, I think one of the biggest things with that is people got to, and it don't matter what race, ethnicity, whatever the case may be, I think people got to grasp the concept that they themselves have full control over what goes on in their life and how they react to it. People ask me every day, just simple, how are you doing? And my answer is always like, I'm good, I'm great, I'm lovely. And matter of fact, I had one of my customers today tell me, they was like, no, man, you give me that same answer every single time. Like, everything can't just be great, everything can't be lovely. Like, even if it's quote unquote in the physical, not, to me it is. You know what I'm saying? Everything's good, everything's great, because in the physical, everything's gonna work out exactly, what it's supposed, the way it's supposed to be. And it's not, to me, it's not the problem that's the problem. It's my reaction to the problem and the way I receive the problem and the way I put the energy back out with the problem. So, I mean, people got to understand that they control all of that. I listen to people all the time, and of course everybody else does too. Oh, well, I got all these bills, and I'm stressed out, and I'm this, and I'm that, and oh, that person made me mad, and this situation upset me, and I'm like, are we still that simple? Like, do we allow other people in other situations to control our emotions? Like, we don't understand that we control all of that?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why it was so easy to, program us. That's why we. That's why we here. Because we're not in control of our emotions.
Right. Exactly. And learning that.
Exactly.
Oof. Well,
man, it's a lot of work.
It does take a lot of work, and I don't take away from the work that it takes. I don't tell people it's easy, but I always tell people it's worth it. Like, at one point in time, I felt like I had to control everything on the outside. And when I felt like I had to control all the situations that were going on with my kids, or, just the physical life struggles that anybody and everybody goes through, the bills, the this, the that, the this, that, I felt like I had to control all of that. And that's where all my stress and all came from. Once I realized that the only thing I needed to control was me and gain power of me, and then I gained control of everything in the world, I was like, oh, shit, what have I been doing all my life? Like,
Right. For real.
For real.
That stuff can control itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Coming to that realization.
So when we first started Selfmade, I think you made a comment about when you started your journey and all, you started going into, like, the water and the chemtrails and different things like that, not just the food. You started going into, other aspects of the things that are going on around us. Can you elaborate for them a little bit on that and how, that actually affects us?
Right. Yeah. A lot of it came through the health side. As far as once I learned about alkaline or alkalinity and acidic foods, that's kind of what got me onto the water, testing the water, seeing, like, is it alkaline, is it acidic? And most of bottled water, if it's not spring water, is acidic, even though it's water. And coming to find out, what fluoride does to your pineal gland, on top of having chlorine and, a lot of other chemicals in your water. We shower with this, and that's getting into our pores, on top of people cooking with it, and it's affecting us. It's actually making us docile. Like fluoride, is one chemical below chlorine, and they put chlorine in pools to sanitize the pools. So just imagine, like, how corrosive fluoride is, especially inside your body. You know what I mean? And so finding out about that, what they spray in the air, like seeing lines, that just made me question, like, what are those lines? Like, why do planes spray in the sky? And once I start asking those questions, you start finding out they're putting aluminum and, creating certain flues, and it's just bad, and then that led me into the heart machine and seeing them controlling the weather. And, it's like the rabbit hole gets so deep once you start really, really searching just for these answers of what's going on, and how they're doing certain things and why certain things are happening. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy when you start connecting all the dots, or like your picture starts to get clearer and clearer to see what's really going on. And once I started, because it really came down to the health. Like once I really dove into the health and I seen that, unnatural foods and processed foods and GMO foods are actually changing your body genetically on a DNA scale, I was like, okay, that's where I had to draw the line and start trying to inform the people, like, what you eat makes you who you are, makes you think what you think, and, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, it was real big. And, I mean, I'm still finding out certain things, like this whole new 5G, like, our cell phones going from 4G to 5G, and how they have 5G towers instead of the 4G cell phone towers. And these 5G towers, they put closer together, and I heard it's actually making people confused and lethargic in their own house. And this is just something simple. I mean, this is just something I just found out not too long ago. So, I mean, it's always new information about these things that they're coming up with and how they're affecting us, you know, on a physical, spiritual, and mental way.
Man. My bad. Can I chime in one time on that?
Yes, please do.
Just him saying that as far as just like the 5G towers and stuff like that, it just kind of reminds me of just like, you know, just how much we just let things happen around us and let these people just, you know, do stuff in our communities and in this country, and we're just like not saying anything about it. Nobody asks questions. Like, we're not getting a group of people together to be like, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? What are y'all doing here? They're not telling us why they're doing something. Like, it's just like, it's just going on, and it's just going on and going on, and we're just allowing it to happen when we're the ones, you know, if with all this taxes and, you know, we're funding basically all of these things to happen, like the police and the ambulance and the military, and it's like if we're funding all this with our taxes,
by paying taxes,
we're not wanting to know more about, like, you know, how they're using our money, and, you know, and wanting to be more involved with, like, nah, we don't want that. We don't want that here. Let's have more parks around the city so more kids can be happier to play, and just, like, you know, controlling more things, like making it more just the way that we need it to be to benefit us. You know what I mean? It's like we're just letting them just do whatever they're doing, and we just like, oh, go to work, and, you know, our child, we pay taxes and all this. Like, it's just man,
a real life zoo.
For real though.
And that's a misconception that the whole entire world has when it comes to these corporations and the different, I call them organized gangs, your police, your government, all that kind of stuff like that. When it comes to them, the world has a misconception of we work for them because we pay taxes. No, baby. It's the other way around. They actually work for us, and we are the only reason that they have these 6- and 7-figure salaries and get to kick their feet up behind the desk and smoke a cigar. Then none of us can even pay for, you know, different stuff like that. And I think that that's a simple concept that people got to grasp before they can actually start taking things back. I sit here and look at it, and I'm like, how in the hell did we really get to this point of them controlling everything we do, down to our children and giving them birth certificates and social security numbers, down to our marriages and, oh, your marriage isn't ordained unless you got this paper signed by this person who's, you know, by this court system. I mean, literally everything. So how does the community start taking that back? Like,
people just not participating in those things. Like, us just not. It's like boycotting. We got to boycott the system, really, in a complete whole new, and build a whole new community. And it's just like, we got to just like, just like, no, we're not getting married. We don't do that. We don't, because that doesn't, that's not for us. That doesn't represent us. We're not participating in you guys' holidays and all these holidays y'all keep trying to have us celebrate. We're not having our babies at your hospitals and coming down there and having y'all put chemicals in our you know, the mothers of our kids and birthing babies, and we're not gonna come work for y'all so y'all can just, you know, keep giving us poison, and we're not gonna keep buying that food at them stores that are killing us. You know what I mean? It's just like we have to just stop doing that. And if we don't, it's that simple. And if we don't just stop doing stuff, it's like, then we're just going to continue just going through this cycle, like.
Right. And I just want to say one thing, because I just actually saw this not too long ago, and I saw somebody did a big post on it like 2 or 3 days ago, and it made me do a whole lot of thinking, where you were talking about getting out of the systems and doing the things the way they said, like having the babies in the hospitals and all that. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it or anything like that, but what about these DNA testing sites and stuff that you send your DNA to, like Ancestry.com and all that, that are supposed to be giving you your background history and everything. Have any of y'all read what is going on with all of that, or?
No. I haven't looked into it.
They have lawsuits going against like all of the companies, Ancestry.com, all of those DNA companies like that say, get your DNA, because they found out that they're actually stealing the DNA and doing research on the DNA and selling the DNA and all that kind of stuff like that. And it just made me think, because one of my friends is actually pregnant right now as we speak. She went through the little testing, like the chromosomal testing that they do to see if your baby could be like Down syndrome, blase, whoop-de-whoop. And they told her, they was like, well, if this certain test comes back this way, then we're going to have to draw DNA straight from the baby. And I was like, don't let them people draw DNA from your baby, because this is what they're doing with it. So, I mean, him talking about getting out of, the system's ways just literally made me think that the systems are set up like that, and they're doing stuff like that. They're by a set up programmed way, and we are so focused on everything on the outside again, we fall right into that. So, yeah.
That remind me of the my bad. That remind me of the Amazon. I don't know if you guys heard about Amazon, but they just got linked with selling all their camera footage back to the police, and their headquarters and stuff. And so, the whole thing is with that new technology, all these cameras and the technology and stuff, it's like they'll really be able to control us, once they could, especially with the facial recognition, like they have that, going everywhere now. And, sooner or later, police gonna have it on their body cams, just walking through the mall or, walking through certain events, scanning everybody's face to see if they can get somebody, And
well, one of the states, the police stations or the law enforcement officers in one of the states, and I can't remember where it was, I just read it in the article this morning, matter of fact, they are putting, like in the radars that they do speed detection and all with, now that they set this side of the road to detect your speed with, they're actually putting some kind of radar in it where they can tell whether you're texting and driving by the energy or like the wavelengths and all that are coming through that radar when you pass by. I'm like, that's stuff that we have to realize that they have set in place to get you and keep you in the systems that they got going on. But real quick, we got about 8 minutes. But we're gonna run it on these 8 minutes. I got to have you guys back, really got to have y'all back. I want to have y'all back on our travel affairs, which is a 2-hour, where it's a general discussion. We do them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because we need to really get deeper, like really deep into things like that. And I know each of you have different knowledge, and like I know I see Selfmade doing his videos and, kind of sharing his knowledge and all that. And so I would love to bring you guys back, but we got about 7 or 8 minutes. Starting with Selfmade, going down the line, what is it that you feel is most important or that you want to leave with everybody that is listening right now?
Self-love. Just, get back to loving yourself and cherishing, yourself while you're here. And I guess just keeping that vibration, because you can only love, once you love yourself, then you know how to love everybody external to yourself. So definitely just self-love, keep the love flowing, and that's what's going to get us out of this hole.
I'll say the same thing, self-love. And I'll say always ask questions. If there's a problem ahead of you, ask questions. That's how you figure things out. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on digging for the truth and realizing the fake around you and distance yourself from what doesn't serve you. Yep. Right.
And I would say, continue to put into practice those things that we were talking about as far as just like getting out of the system some type of way. Like, we got to we have to be really finding out ways to do that. Like, how can we be more independent? How can we be more, just for self, and getting our energies back as far as just keeping our energies high to be able to create and be entrepreneurs and self-sustaining ourselves, grow food, all that, you know what I mean? Don't worry, just, relax, all that good stuff. Take care of your mind, breathe, all that stuff.
Hey, veganism coming out July 7th.
Right.
Stay tuned for that. You know what I'm saying? It's coming July 7th on all platforms.
Good. I'm actually waiting on that one. I'm waiting on that right there. I'm waiting on that to come out. So I will be getting that. I suggest everybody else do. Real quick before we go, I don't care whichever one of y'all want to answer. I do have y'all's information in the show notes and all that, but tell them where, how they can find you all, how they can find your music. Because I'm telling you guys, all of y'all listeners, y'all seriously need to tap into these guys' music. You'll definitely pick up, if you listen and you pay attention, I promise you they are dropping gems. All you got to do is be there to pick them up. So tell them how they can get in touch with y'all and follow your music and all that kind of good stuff.
Conscious Mindz with a Z.
Conscious Mindz with a Z. That's on Facebook. IG, YouTube. Yep. Subscribe, and you can find all of our personal ones from the Conscious Mindz page.
Right. Yeah, same here, and also M'ster Lewis. I know it's everybody always spells it like MR, then Lewis, LEWIS, but it's M''STER, and then Lewis. I got the cooking videos going on. I got the little garden videos, and we really trying to just, like you were saying, just continue to show people different ways to self-develop and just be better.
Okay. Well,
SoundCloud. SoundCloud. Forgot the SoundCloud. We got Conscious Mindz on SoundCloud. Conscious Mindz on SoundCloud. What is Z? I forgot that. I think we all got SoundCloud. Yep. Selfmade, SoundCloud, Hillz, SoundCloud.
Mine is Hillz, yep.
M'ster Lewis. M'ster Lewis, SoundCloud. Yeah, everybody got SoundCloud. YouTube, Selfmade, YouTube.
I'll go in
for YouTube for me.
Y'all's personal ones all because I think I got them written down and everything in here in my notebook. I'll go in the actual show notes.
Okay.
And put I do have y'all's group Facebook page and all that, and I do have the information to y'all's personal pages, but I'll go in there and add the YouTube and the SoundCloud links and all that kind of stuff in the show notes. So if y'all want to connect to their music or connect to them, I'll put all of their information in the show notes. Y'all can tap the show notes and go straight to them. Again, I want to thank all of you all for coming on with me tonight. This was just a highlight.
Thank you.
To share with the world the great things that y'all got going on. Y'all got supporters all the way over here on the East Coast. We love you guys.
Hey, thank you.
I definitely do want you all back with me again. So I'll keep in contact with you all and see what works best for y'all's schedule and, kind of see maybe a certain topic that y'all three want to come together on that y'all feel like, needs to get out or something like that. And y'all can do a session on, kind of just teaching your knowledge and, whatever the case may be. But I'll keep in contact with you guys on that. I want all of you all to have a positive, productive night. And I appreciate you for all that y'all do. Keep doing it, and we're going to keep supporting you all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for having us on. We appreciate it.
No problem.
For
y'all
real,
all
though.
have
Much
a
love,
great,
much
great
love.
night. We'll talk to y'all later.
You too.
All right.
Peace
All right.
and love.
Peace, peace, peace.
Lisa's Fragrance and Such. Lisa's Fragrance and Such is focused on providing high-quality, all-natural products at the best price. Fragrance oils such as Heat Kiss Essence, Lacoste Essence, Creed Essence, and much more. We carry lotions, shower gels, body sprays, and sugar scrubs, custom made to your liking. Our mission is to provide the best products to our customers at the lowest prices possible. Visit us at www.lisasfragranceandsuch.com. That's www.lisasfragrance.such.com. Or give us a call at 813-666-3826. That's 813-666-3826. Follow us on Facebook at Lisa's Fragrance and Such. The queen of natural, of natural, of natural, of natural, of natural, of natural, of natural.